Do you wake up feeling weaker or stiffer each morning? Perhaps your knees feel a little unstable, or your legs don't quite support you the way they used to when you first get out of bed. Many women over 60 assume this is simply part of getting older, that losing leg strength is unavoidable. But what if I told you that something you're eating at night could silently be damaging your leg muscles while you sleep? This is not just a mild inconvenience. As we age, losing leg strength becomes far more dangerous than most people realize. Weak legs mean compromised balance, a greater risk of falls, potential fractures, hospitalizations, and, in some cases, the heartbreaking loss of independence. But here's the part that's often overlooked. Many seniors are unknowingly sabotaging their muscle recovery every single night. And after 60, if this continues, your legs may never fully recover. Today, I want to share something critical with you. Because the truth is, while we can't stop aging, we absolutely can control how we age, especially when it comes to preserving leg strength and mobility. In this video, I'll reveal the single biggest food mistake damaging your legs at night, the science behind why this happens, and the simple evidence-based steps you can take to protect your muscles starting tonight. You may be surprised how small changes to your evening routine can dramatically improve your leg strength, stability, and overall vitality. We'll explore how your body changes after 60, why certain nighttime snacks can quietly interfere with your muscle repair, how unstable blood sugar overnight may be eroding your muscles, and which inflammation-triggering foods to avoid before bed. But don't worry, I won't just tell you what's wrong. You'll leave today with a clear, easy-to-follow plan to strengthen your legs naturally, even after 60. Because here's the truth, your body wants to repair. Your muscles want to stay strong. You simply need to give them the right environment to do so, and it all starts with understanding what's happening while you sleep. Let's begin by understanding why leg strength declines so rapidly after 60 and why this makes your nighttime habits more important than ever. It often feels sudden. One day you're walking up the stairs without a second thought. The next, you're gripping the handrail a bit tighter, feeling a bit less steady. But the truth is, the loss of leg strength happens gradually, starting quietly in your 50s and accelerating into your 60s and beyond. This natural process is known as sarcopenia. Sarcopenia refers to the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. It's a silent thief, slowly robbing us of the lean muscle that once made movement effortless. After 60, most people lose muscle mass at a rate of approximately 1 to 2% per year, with strength declining even faster, up to 3% annually. And the legs are often the first to feel this decline because they bear the weight of every movement, standing, walking, climbing, even simply rising from a chair. But why does this happen? First, our bodies experience significant hormonal changes as we age. Key hormones that support muscle growth and repair, like growth hormone, testosterone, and estrogen, all decline with age. These hormones once fueled robust muscle protein synthesis, the process where your body repairs and builds muscle fibers, but after 60, that process becomes far less efficient. Imagine trying to rebuild a house after a storm with fewer workers, limited tools, and scarce supplies. That's essentially what happens inside your muscles. The raw materials for repair amino acids from protein may still be present, but the machinery that assembles them slows down dramatically. Compounding this, many seniors unintentionally reduce their physical activity, whether due to joint pain, fear of falling, or simply a more sedentary lifestyle. Less movement signals to the body that those strong leg muscles are no longer needed, and the body, always aiming for efficiency, responds by breaking down unused muscle tissue. But here's where it gets even more critical. The majority of your muscle recovery doesn't happen while you're exercising, it happens while you sleep. During deep sleep stages, your body releases growth hormone, triggers cellular repair processes, and rebuilds damaged muscle fibers. This overnight repair cycle is absolutely essential for maintaining muscle mass, particularly in the legs, which endure significant daily strain. When this recovery process is disrupted, your legs simply cannot rebuild what was lost during the day. And when your legs weaken, the risks multiply. Reduced strength leads to impaired balance, increasing the likelihood of falls. Falls, in turn, lead to fractures, especially hip fractures, which carry serious consequences for seniors. Studies show that nearly 1/3 of seniors who suffer a hip fracture lose their independence afterward, often requiring assisted living or long-term care. That's why preserving leg strength isn't just about staying active. It's about protecting your independence, your mobility, and your quality of life. And while aging naturally slows muscle repair, certain nighttime habits may be accelerating this decline without you even realizing it. In a moment, we'll dive into one of the most damaging of these habits, something millions of seniors do every evening, believing it's harmless or even comforting. But first, let's take a closer look at the specific mistake many women over 60 are making before bed that silently sabotages their leg strength. Picture this. It's 9 p.m., you're winding down after a long day, perhaps watching a favorite show or reading a good book. You start to feel a little hungry, so you reach for something quick and comforting, maybe a few cookies, a small bowl of cereal, some crackers, or even a sweet drink to relax before bed. It feels harmless. After all, it's just a small snack, right? But here's the problem. That seemingly innocent habit may be quietly sabotaging your muscles while you sleep, especially your leg muscles. Many common late-night snacks are high in carbohydrates and very low in protein. Cookies, crackers, sugary drinks, sweetened cereals, they all share something in common: a high glycemic load. This means they cause a rapid spike in your blood sugar shortly after eating. When your blood sugar rises, your pancreas responds by releasing insulin, the hormone that helps shuttle sugar from your bloodstream into your cells for energy or storage. But while insulin is vital for controlling blood sugar, it also has an unintended side effect. When it surges at night, it suppresses growth hormone. Remember, growth hormone is one of the key hormones responsible for muscle repair and regeneration during sleep. It typically peaks during the early stages of deep sleep, driving critical repair work inside your muscles, including your legs. But when insulin levels are elevated at night, this delicate hormonal balance gets disrupted. In simple terms, high insulin blunts your body's ability to release growth hormone, and when growth hormone is suppressed, your muscles don't receive the full repair signals they desperately need during sleep. Night after night, this leads to a gradual erosion of muscle tissue, particularly in large weight-bearing muscles, like your quadriceps, hamstrings, and calves. Several studies have shown this exact pattern. For instance, research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism demonstrated that elevated insulin levels at night significantly reduce growth hormone pulses during sleep, directly impairing the body's natural muscle repair cycles. Another study found that elderly individuals who consumed high carbohydrate meals before bed had diminished nighttime growth hormone release compared to those who ate protein-rich or lower glycemic meals. The issue becomes even more concerning for women over 60 who already face declining baseline levels of growth hormone and estrogen, both critical for maintaining lean muscle mass. Adding nightly carbohydrate spikes further suppresses what little growth hormone remains. Now, you might be wondering, but aren't carbohydrates important for energy? Yes, during the day, when you're active, moderate, healthy carbohydrates can fuel your muscles. But at night, when your body is focused on repair rather than energy expenditure, those excess sugars serve no beneficial purpose. Instead, they disrupt hormones, impair sleep quality, and interfere with muscle regeneration. Unfortunately, this cycle often becomes habitual. Many seniors report craving carbohydrates in the evening, a behavior that may actually be driven by mild blood sugar fluctuations or stress hormones like cortisol, but satisfying those cravings with sugary or starchy snacks creates a vicious loop where muscle recovery weakens night after night. So while the snack may feel comforting in the moment, the long-term consequences on your leg strength are significant. But this is only part of the story, because what happens after that insulin surge can make matters even worse, and we'll explore that in the next section. We've discussed how eating high-carbohydrate, low-protein snacks before bed leads to a surge in blood sugar, followed by a spike in insulin that suppresses growth hormone. But the story doesn't end there. What follows that initial sugar rush can quietly do even more harm to your leg muscles. After your blood sugar spikes, your body works to bring it back down. For many women over 60, this regulatory process becomes less efficient due to age-related insulin resistance. Sometimes, in an attempt to stabilize your blood sugar, your body overshoots, causing your blood sugar to drop too low several hours after you've fallen asleep. This state is called nighttime hypoglycemia. You may not even be aware it's happening. You might simply wake up feeling restless, tossing and turning, or waking briefly in the early morning hours without knowing why. But internally, your body is working hard to correct that drop in blood sugar, and it does so by releasing counter-regulatory hormones, particularly cortisol and adrenaline, to push blood sugar levels back up. This surge of cortisol during the night is especially problematic for your muscles. Cortisol, while necessary in small amounts, is a catabolic hormone. That means it breaks down tissues, including muscle, to free up energy for immediate use. In essence, during these nighttime glucose crashes, your body may be breaking down muscle fibers in your legs to stabilize blood sugar levels, and the consequences don't stop there. This blood sugar roller coaster fragments your sleep. Instead of progressing smoothly through deep restorative sleep cycles, you're pulled into lighter stages of sleep, or awakened entirely. The periods of deep sleep that are so critical for muscle repair become shorter and more fragmented. Multiple studies have confirmed this pattern. Research from the Journal of Sleep Research shows that fluctuations in blood glucose during sleep are strongly correlated with sleep disturbances and reductions in slow-wave sleep, the exact phase when growth hormone peaks and muscle repair happens most efficiently for women over 60. This creates a dangerous double hit. Not only is growth hormone already lower, but the very sleep stages where muscle recovery should occur are repeatedly disrupted. Night after night, your muscles miss out on vital repair time. Over time, this leads to what many seniors describe as mysterious weakness, the slow, creeping loss of strength without any obvious injury or illness. You wake up feeling stiff. Your legs tire more easily when walking. You struggle a bit more to get up from a chair. All of this can be traced back in part to these silent disruptions happening while you sleep. The good news is that this isn't irreversible. By stabilizing your blood sugar before bed and preventing these sharp fluctuations, you can protect your muscles from unnecessary catabolism and give them the full opportunity to repair and strengthen. But blood sugar instability isn't the only silent threat to your legs at night. There's another factor at play, one that's just as common and equally damaging: inflammation triggered by certain foods. And that's exactly what we'll explore next. By now, we've seen how high-carb snacks can disrupt your hormones and blood sugar during sleep. But there's another hidden danger lurking in many evening meals and snacks: inflammation. And when it comes to protecting your leg muscles after, chronic inflammation can be one of the most destructive forces working against you. Let's start with what inflammation actually is. In small, short bursts, like when you scrape your knee, inflammation is a good thing. It's your body's natural healing response. But when inflammation becomes chronic, simmering quietly day after day, it starts to damage healthy tissues, including muscle fibers. Many foods commonly consumed at night promote this kind of low-grade chronic inflammation. Processed meats like bacon or deli slices, fried foods, trans fats found in packaged snacks, margarine, sugary desserts, and even certain refined oils used in fast foods. These are all known contributors to systemic inflammation. When you consume these inflammatory foods before bed, you're essentially flooding your system with compounds that activate your body's immune response, even when there's no injury to heal. One of the most well-known culprits are advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, harmful molecules that form when sugar reacts with proteins or fats during cooking, especially at high temperatures like frying or grilling. Studies have shown that diets high in AGEs are associated with increased levels of inflammatory markers in the bloodstream, such as C-reactive protein, CRP, and interleukin-6, IL-6. Both of these have been directly linked to accelerated muscle loss in seniors. But how does inflammation damage your leg muscles, specifically? Your muscles contain tiny power plants called mitochondria. These are responsible for generating the energy your muscles need to repair and grow. Chronic inflammation impairs mitochondrial function, reducing the energy available for muscle maintenance. Over time, this weakens the structural integrity of muscle fibers, particularly in large weight-bearing muscles like those in your legs. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults with higher inflammatory markers experienced significantly greater rates of sarcopenia, that is, faster muscle loss compared to those with lower inflammation levels, even when physical activity was similar. In other words, even if you're staying active, chronic dietary inflammation can still undermine your efforts to maintain strong legs. It's also important to understand that inflammation doesn't just affect your muscles directly, it also indirectly disrupts your sleep. Elevated inflammatory cytokines interfere with sleep architecture, reducing the amount of deep sleep you achieve. And as we've already discussed, deep sleep is where the majority of muscle repair happens. This creates a vicious cycle, inflammatory. Foods reduce your deep sleep, which reduces muscle repair, leading to weaker legs. Weaker legs may limit your physical activity, leading to more inflammation, and so on. The good news is that, unlike some age-related changes we can't control, inflammation is highly influenced by diet. Making intentional choices about what you eat in the hours leading up to bedtime can dramatically reduce inflammation and create an environment where your muscles can rebuild effectively. In just a moment, we'll talk about one more hidden threat that quietly breaks down your muscles overnight. It's something that happens even if you don't eat any unhealthy snacks at all. But first, let's take a moment to understand why simply going to bed undernourished can be just as damaging to your leg strength as eating the wrong foods. Now, you might be thinking, if snacking on high-carb or inflammatory foods at night is harmful, maybe it's better to avoid eating anything at all before bed. That seems logical at first glance. But for women over 60, especially when it comes to preserving leg strength, this can quietly backfire in a different way. You see, as we age, our ability to maintain muscle mass becomes highly sensitive to both nutrition and timing. One of the lesser-known challenges is a phenomenon called overnight catabolism. In simple terms, muscle breakdown that occurs when your body doesn't have enough nutrients available during long fasting periods overnight. Let me explain it. With a simple metaphor, picture your leg muscles as a brick wall. Every day, wear and tear remove a few bricks. At night, your body sends out repair crews to replace those bricks and strengthen the wall. But if you go to bed without providing the workers with enough bricks, meaning adequate amino acids from protein, the repairs can't be made. Worse, the wall may actually lose more bricks overnight if your body needs to pull amino acids from existing muscle tissue to fuel basic repair functions elsewhere. During youth, your body has a large reserve of circulating amino acids and more efficient hormonal systems that help protect against this breakdown, but after 60, with declining estrogen, growth hormone, and testosterone levels, your natural ability to preserve muscle during overnight fasts weakens dramatically. This is especially problematic for the legs because they house some of the largest muscle groups in the body. The quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and calves are all energy-hungry tissues that require constant maintenance. Without adequate overnight nutrition, your body may begin cannibalizing these muscles, slowly eroding your strength even while you sleep. One study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging demonstrated that older adults who consumed a protein-rich snack before bed experienced better overnight muscle protein synthesis compared to those who fasted completely. This shows that simply having amino acids available during sleep can help preserve muscle tissue and counteract the natural catabolic processes of aging. Another way to visualize this is to imagine your muscles being gently eroded, like a shoreline. Losing a little sand each night, if you fail to replace that sand daily, the shoreline gradually recedes. It's often so slow that you don't notice it until one day you realize standing up feels harder. Walking longer distances leaves you winded, and climbing stairs requires more effort. This silent, gradual muscle loss, driven partly by overnight catabolism, is one of the most underappreciated contributors to mobility decline in seniors. And once leg strength diminishes beyond a certain point, rebuilding it becomes increasingly difficult, requiring far more time and effort. But here's the empowering truth. You have the ability to interrupt this process. You can create a nightly environment that supports muscle repair rather than breakdown. And the steps to do this are surprisingly simple. In the next section, I'll share a practical, science-backed, 5-step nighttime routine you can start tonight to protect and even rebuild your leg strength, no matter your age. Now that you understand the hidden ways your nightly habits may be undermining your leg strength, let's shift our focus to solutions. The good news is, By making a few targeted changes to your evening routine, you can support your muscles, stabilize your hormones, and protect your legs even well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Here are 5 simple, science-backed steps you can start implementing tonight. 1. Consume a protein source before bed. The most powerful change you can make is to give your body the raw materials it needs to repair your muscles overnight. This means consuming a small, high-quality protein source about 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. Excellent options include cottage cheese, rich in casein, a slow-digesting protein, a protein shake with whey or casein protein, Greek yogurt preferably. Unsweetened high-protein varieties, casein is particularly beneficial because it digests slowly, releasing a steady stream of amino acids throughout the night. This provides your muscles with a constant supply of building blocks for repair, directly combating overnight catabolism. Research published in the Journal of Nutrition has shown that older adults who consume casein protein before bed experience significantly higher rates of overnight muscle protein synthesis compared to those who don't. This small habit can have a profound cumulative effect on preserving leg strength. To eliminate high glycemic carbohydrates at night, while protein before bed is helpful, it's equally important to avoid foods that cause insulin spikes during the evening hours. This means cutting out high glycemic carbohydrates, like cookies, crackers, sugary cereals, sweetened beverages, pastries, or desserts and snack. If you want a small carbohydrate serving with your protein snack, opt for low glycemic choices, such as a few berries or a small portion of oats, which have a much gentler impact on blood sugar. By stabilizing blood sugar before sleep, you allow growth hormone to function optimally during deep sleep stages, maximizing muscle repair. 3. Add daily anti-inflammatory foods beyond what you eat. At night, your overall diet throughout the day plays a major role in regulating inflammation levels. Incorporating anti-inflammatory foods daily can help create an internal environment that supports healthy muscle tissue. Some excellent options include berries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, turmeric, curcumin supplements, or added to meals green tea, rich in anti-inflammatory polyphenols, leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula, fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel. Several studies, including one published in Nutrients, have demonstrated that diets rich in these foods correlate with lower inflammatory markers and better muscle function in older adults. Ensure proper hydration before bedtime. While it may seem minor, mild dehydration can contribute to muscle cramping, stiffness, and poor recovery. Many seniors unconsciously reduce their fluid intake in the evening to avoid nighttime bathroom trips. However, allowing yourself to become dehydrated overnight places additional stress on your muscles. Aim to drink a moderate amount of water during your evening meal and a small glass about 1 hour before bed. This ensures your muscles have sufficient hydration for metabolic processes during repair, without significantly increasing nocturnal urination. 5. Gentle evening movement. Finally, light movement before bed can enhance blood flow to your muscles, setting the stage for more effective overnight repair. This isn't about vigorous exercise, but rather gentle stretching routines. Light resistance band exercises, simple bodyweight movements like squats or leg lifts. 10 to 15 minutes of gentle evening activity improves circulation, delivers nutrients to muscle tissue, and signals your body to prioritize muscle repair during sleep. A study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that seniors who performed light resistance exercises in the evening experienced improved muscle function and better sleep quality compared to those who remained sedentary. When you combine these 5 steps, protein intake, stable blood sugar, anti-inflammatory nutrition, hydration, and gentle evening movement, you create a powerful nightly environment for muscle preservation. Over time, these small changes accumulate, helping you maintain stronger legs, better balance, and greater confidence in your mobility. Now, let's bring everything together and discuss what this means for your long-term health in the final section. Let's take a step back for a moment. You started this video hearing a simple but urgent truth. Your legs may never fully recover if you keep making the wrong choices at night. But now, you understand exactly why. You've seen how low-protein snacks suppress your body's natural growth hormone, robbing your muscles of their most critical repair time. You've learned how unstable blood sugar overnight triggers cortisol surges that quietly erode your muscle fibers. You've discovered how inflammatory foods, often hidden in your evening meals, impair your muscles, power plants, and fuel chronic muscle loss. And you've seen how simply going to bed undernourished can force your body to break down muscle tissue to meet its needs. It's a complex web of physiology. But the solution, thankfully, is simple. You have control. You can take charge of this process starting tonight by nourishing your body with slow-digesting protein before bed, avoiding high glycemic carbs, incorporating anti-inflammatory foods throughout your day, staying properly hydrated, and adding light evening movement. You give your legs the exact support they need to maintain and even rebuild strength. Over time, even after 60, your body is still capable of incredible resilience. But it can only do its job if you stop sabotaging it at night. You don't need extreme diets, expensive supplements, or miracle solutions. You need consistency. You need habits that respect how your body repairs itself during sleep. Remember, your legs are your foundation. They carry you through life, allow you to stay independent, and give you the freedom to enjoy your family, your hobbies, your travels, everything that makes life rich and fulfilling. If you've recognized yourself in any of the patterns we discussed today, you're not alone. Many seniors fall into these traps simply because no one ever explained the science behind what's happening, but now you know. And with that knowledge comes power. I encourage you to start tonight. Try even one of these simple changes and feel the difference it can make. Over time, you'll find that your legs feel stronger, steadier, and more resilient, not just in the morning, but throughout your entire day. And if you've made any of these mistakes before, I'd love to hear your story. Share your experience. In the comments below, your story might help someone else take that first step toward stronger, healthier legs. And don't forget to subscribe for weekly senior health tips, all grounded in science, designed to help you age with strength, confidence, and vitality. Thank you for spending this time with me. Here's 2 stronger legs and a stronger you.